Have you ever asked yourself how farmers persevere through enduring droughts and changing climates? Where do they find food to sustain their families after persistent crop failures? What source of income do they rely on to meet their needs when there are no crops to be sold? These issues are realities for many families in Kenya who depend on agriculture for a livelihood. Climate change is only increasing the problems that farmers face. With the increasing frequency and duration of drought conditions, farmers, more so smallholder farmers, are looking for new ways to ensure that their harvests are secured against unpredictable rains.
The importance of research is that it is through technologies either borrowed from outside or developed from within, they are evaluated before they are taken to farmers, or before they are disseminated to farmers, or before they are applied by farmers. They are evaluated and every challenge eliminated, so that by the time the package is reaching the farmer, it is cooked, it is fully developed, and the farmer takes it up and uses it to increase his profit and also increase the water and other resource. Then research that has been carried out by NIB is what we call operational research or applied research.
The National Irrigation Board, NIB, carries out research aimed at identifying appropriate technologies, enhancing adoption of technologies, optimizing resource management, and enhancing skills in irrigated agriculture. The objectives of research in irrigation are technology development, policy development, optimization of resource use, and capacity development. These objectives are achieved through technology demonstration, training and collaboration with various research and irrigation industry players.
Tunafurahia ile mafunzo wanatupatia, sababu tunaenda huko hata wakati wanatuita tuende masomo, tunakuta kuna variety mingi na tunaona ile ambayo tunaweza panda na ile ambayo haifai sana huku, sababu wako na variety mingi huko kwa miandi.
Kuna ugonjwa ilikuja hapa ya rice blast. Ilifanyia utafiti kwa miad, wakatuandikia kitambo ya kusoma vile wanafuata, so that you are able to spray your rice and you don't lose a crop, because rice blast is a dangerous disease. Inaweza kumaliza mkulima. Ilifanyika tu hapo miad. The other thing, ukienda miad and you want to be trained, you be trained so well, they will come you na unafundishwa vile wanataka. Tena kama ni mambo ya begu, tunachukua begu kutoka miad and it's good quality seed. Ukipanda begu ya miad compared na mtu anatoa ile alikuwa amepanda bereni, you get a different production. Hiyo ni kitu tumefanya na tumeona.
National Irrigation Board Research Unit's main centers are Mwea Irrigation Agricultural Development, MIAD, which takes care of the eastern region, and Ahero Irrigation Research Station, taking care of the western region. MIAD is located in Kirinyaga County, approximately 110 kilometers northeast of Nairobi.
MIAD Center has quite a number of activities that are being carried out. To start with, we have research programs, which is the main mandate actually of the institution, which are geared towards farm operation. We also carry out seed production. We have a model farm within the institution. Essentially, after all the research activities have been conducted and findings documented and be seen to be working, we transfer the technology to model farm within the institution, which does the dissemination purposes to the client, confirms what the research section has actually gone through. We have a section that deals with the production of the rice seed for not only Mwea irrigation scheme, but also Western Kenya schemes, that is Ahero, West Kano, and Bunyala.
26.
This is the main research station that spearheads all the activities that are located in the region, comprising Mwea, Bura, Hola, Kibwezi, and all those clusters that are being opened up, including Rapsu and Usweni. MIAT Center was established in early 90s through a technical cooperation between the government of Kenya and Japan.
Well, the main collaborator was JICA, the Japanese government. We had also CARI, a major collaborator. We had also ICAD, African Institute for Capacity Development. We also, in one way or the other, the Ministry of Agriculture, because at the end of the day, when the rice promotion unit was formed in the Ministry of Agriculture, livestock and fisheries, it was taken up, and from through now the Ministry of Agriculture and teaming up with what we call the National Rice Development Strategy, the National Rice Technical Team, this is what saw Nerika move out and reach farmers in a very great way.
Ahero Center coordinates research activities in the Western Kenya region, such as Ahero, West Kano, Bunyala, Pekera, Katilu, and Lokubai. These schemes have many outlying community-based irrigation projects. In addition, several other projects that are coming up in the region include Lower Kuja, Lower Sio, and Shisenye projects. The research by NIB is organized in various ways and has made great achievements. We carry out research in mechanization, including on-farm implements, in order to maximize labor. Labor requires skill and efficiency in order to maximize productivity. One of our achievements is the use of a drum seeder to reduce the cost of rice farming. Another is the introduction of rice combine harvesters, which reduce cost of labor and grain loss, thus increasing farmers' income. We live in a country that is deficient of water. Yet we require water for irrigation, domestic use, livestock, and also for other uses. So how do we use this water efficiently so that other activities can get their share?
There are some methods of irrigation that we've been used to carrying out or practicing in the respective regions in the country that are not in tandem with the changing climatic conditions. As the water gets more and more scarce, we need to improve efficiency. So therefore, we may find that the practices that we were using there before are getting more and more uneconomical. So we are also in that experiment, also besides demonstrating the alternative crops, we are also demonstrating the efficiency and effectiveness of different methods of irrigation. We have got drip irrigation system, we have furrow irrigation system, we have got sprinkler irrigation system.
One of the challenges that we've been having as a scheme has been the lack of water, which we are progressively handling. We've just finished the rehabilitation of the scheme where we have improved the canals. This particular project was aimed towards improving water management, reducing the losses that we were experiencing after the scheme degenerated during the time when we had the scheme being run by farmers on their own. So we have restored most of that infrastructure. And with that, we are now seeing more water being available for production.
We also carry out research on soils. Intensively irrigated soils undergo rapid degradation. The development of an electronic soil database aims at using information technology to enhance the management of irrigated soils for sustainable productivity of irrigation schemes. Why soils? It is the foundation on which we are going to put the crops. So you need to establish the condition before you start irrigation to monitor any changes that occur in the soil over time. Soil and irrigation water quality monitoring is important for sustainable management of these resources in the irrigation schemes. Together with collaborators, we are carrying out research on utilization of rice husks and maize cob as biochar for increased water use, efficiency, and improved soil.
Essentially, this is a study on rice husks that has been carbonized and then used as a soil amendment product to improve the soil workability of the soil, and then also water retention capabilities of rice husks that otherwise could have gone into waste.
In my research, I'm looking at the ability of this biochar to retain water in the soil for longer time, because in the arsals it is known that the evaporation rate is extremely high. It's normally more than 2 in most arsals of Kenya. But we are blessed to have also a lot of water, irrigation water in our arsals. So we'd like to see how biochar can help in retention of this, because we have all the same the upland downstream water use. And we have water use associations which are very strong. And you find the downstream fellows don't always get enough water. For that reason, I'm trying to look at the crop water use efficiency in the situations where the water control is high. Can we use this biochar during off-rice time when the water control is really under very high control?
NIB has equipped laboratories both in Miad and Ahero centers for analysis of soil, plant and water quality. NIB therefore provides irrigation advisory services through analysis of water, soil and plant samples. Farmers are then advised on types and quantities of fertilizers to use and best practices for optimum productivity of soil and water resources.
This advisory services is through phone calls. Farmers face to face, they come to the station to seek for clarification on some issues. We also conduct field days once or twice a year based on a target or a theme that we deem is going to benefit our farmers. The station also participates in exhibitions in the scheme. That is, we have Mwea Rice Growers Multipurpose, MRGM, which is farmer-owned. We have CALRO Mwea, Kenya Agricultural Livestock Research Organization, and the county government.
In NIB of research is very important. It has the direct contact with the farmer. This is where farmers rush to before they can go to anybody else for the solution to their challenges.
So they tell me, go and do this, take this type of insecticide, take this type of fungicide, take this type of fertilizer. Go and try it, and they are always helping me. They visit me here, and they advise me properly on what to do.
The National Irrigation Board has a 200-acre commercial rice seed farm located at Miad Center in Mwea. The farm produces certified seed of irrigated rice varieties and works hand in hand with the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KEPHIS, to ensure that before the seed produced at the farm is sold to rice farmers, it meets all requirements as set out in the Seed and Plant Varieties Act, Cap 326 of 2013. The seed is available to farmers at affordable prices. NIB has funded research on system of rice intensification, SRI rice. SRI is a technique of growing rice using relatively younger seedlings, that is 8 to 14 days after sowing, line transplanting, fewer seedling density, and less irrigation water.
This is a technology which was first introduced in the scheme in the year 2009, and 6 years down the line, it has been embraced by over 70% of the scheme farmers.
Najua bereni tulikuwa inaneka unapanda 25 kgs ya begu. Unalezi ina nursery 25 kg unapanda kwa eka. Sasa SRI ikaja naye na unapanda tu 5 kg. Sasa ingine hata inabaki. Sababu unabidi upande 1 plant per till, 1 plant per till. Natumia begu kidogo na production bado inakuja higher and the quality ya hiyo mshere bado ni better.
Rice schemes lose a lot of fertilizers applied to the rice crop using the broadcasting method. The losses occur through vaporization and seepage, once dissolved in water. In order to address this, UDP, which is a technique of applying fertilizer by placing urea deep in the plant root zone, has been demonstrated. The test crop had higher yield and better grain quality. If adopted, the techniques will lead to reduced fertilizer costs, higher yields, and reduced environmental degradation.
Ukishaweka the briquette, uweki fertilizer ingine. So, in that shamba, utatumia tu 1 bag 50 kg ya baso fertilizer na 50 kg or even less kulingana na ile spacing umeweka kwa shamba yako uliyompanda mshele. You can even use less than 50 kg. Kuna wakati nakumbuka last year there's an acre that I used 42 kg and I got very good production.
I used urea, I used sulfate, and I used another type of fertilizer which is almost like urea. So I divided the farm into 3 sections. The ones I used granules are better than the ones I used just pure sulfate. So the yield is different, and I think, but they will be better. The yield will be better.
Crops require an ideal environment for optimal production. We carry out research on general agronomy, grain quality, yields, and appropriate use of chemicals to control diseases and pests. Parts of Kenya's western region remain food deficit areas as a result of continued land fragmentation. Greenhouses therefore provide the opportunity to enhance food production from small land area. The study on the promotion of greenhouse technology adoption aims at upscaling the adoption of the technology in the region. In addition, the monitoring of the scheme's production activities aims at determining the actual production levels with a view to advising the farmers on the best management practices for improved yields. Collaboration with partners and institutions of higher learning to offer operational research on emerging concerns continues.
We are collaborating with various institutions, the universities, the KALRO, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization. We are also collaborating with public enterprises, the chemical companies, and we are also collaborating with the farmers themselves, because they're eventually the recipients, the final recipients of the information. So as we carry out our trials, we work together with them through the entire process, so that in the subsequent dissemination of that information, they'll receive it much more positively.
In Pekera, most farmers grow maize seed, but there has been trials on alternative crops. One was on evaluation of Irish potatoes and irrigation. The test materials, which were initially developed for cool climatic conditions, performed comparatively well under the high temperatures in Pekera. This means that the scheme can produce the crop, a highly welcome finding that will go a long way in addressing food security in the largely food deficit area. In addition, The scheme had performance evaluation trials on irrigated sweet potatoes. The indications to date is that the crop will do well and become a strategic food security crop.
Research on alternative crops that are basically meant to improve the household nutritional requirements. And we started our trials there and in research are focused on evaluating the performance of sweet potato varieties. We have also introduced tissue cultured banana production, still at research level, and we have also introduced irrigated pawpaw production, as well as vegetables like watermelons, sukuma wiki, and green grams. Farmers are also carrying out sorghum production. Again, this is for basically enhancing household food security.
All in all, research generates information in order to create new or add value to existing knowledge. The knowledge is then used to make informed decisions on development.
AIC.
Watch more agricultural documentaries at www.youtube.com/AIRC video unit. Find us on www.nib.or.ke, on Twitter or Facebook.